going to get ready to start here in a sec, okay?
So, yeah, if you want to go on the city website, you can get an application. Under application, it has youth council. Grab and fill it, and you're more
David?
than welcome next Monday anyway, whether you do anything or not. Yeah. Thank you.
David. Call this meeting to order. Council regular session, Wednesday, January 17th, time is 7. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, visitor comments. Welcome all the kids from Keith Muson's class.
End of the quarter.
End of the quarter. Extra credit. Okay, approve and authorize for signature. A, Oregon Public Works Emergency Response Cooperative Assistant Agreement. B, agreement with Columbia River PUD for non-custom projects and existing non-residential faculties.
I move we approve items 4A through B as read.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve 4A through B. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Okay, appointments to boards and commissions. Okay, I have a Rachel Berry put in an application, and I would like to nominate her for the budget committee as my appointment to the budget committee.
Can you give us a little background?
Well, yeah, she's got an extensive. She's went to Boston College. She's got state level experience. She is Brad Witt's main staffer.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So she
And she
definitely
lives in St. Helens.
yes.
She has a lot of finance background.
Yep.
Yes.
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 As a side note, for people
Got to
under
have one,
30,
right?
She's not the Rachel Berry from the Glee Show.
Yeah. I know. Me and Jenny were talking last night when Sue had kind of introduced.
Everybody said the name sounded familiar, and that's why.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that name. But we're glad to have her anyway.
I'll second that motion then.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to appoint Rachel Berry to the budget committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Okay, consent agenda for acceptance. A, planning commission minutes dated December 12th, 2017.
Move we accept consent agenda 6A.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to accept consent agenda A. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, consent agenda for approval. A, accounts payable bill list.
I move we approve consent agenda 7A as read.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda A as read. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I don't have much to report, other than we have a lot going on with the city. Again, reflecting with just going back to the urban renewal that was right before this, and one of the questions was, what are you guys doing in order to get ready for all this? And there is a lot going on that is revolving around this urban renewal, that a good strategic plan. And you know, I'm impatient, but I'm also patiently waiting because I'm so thrilled with. I see the vision. So, and I hope if I try to tell our citizens about it the best I can. They all, the riverfront corridor. I was out plugging that way prior to that meeting. That they show up. and it's exciting stuff to actually have signage and push people down. Like if you're going through Cannon Beach and you have the little loop that you read off the highway, and you're like, oh, okay. And you come into this quaint little town, and then all of a sudden you stop, and then you're back out, and you follow that road back out, and you're back on 101. It's no different than 30. I know how many people that live here, or I mean, that have passed through this town. And I'll say, okay, well, I'll pick you up at the dock. I go, just come down Columbia Boulevard and go a mile. And all of a sudden they come down, they're like, I never knew this was all here.
And that's
Thought-
people who live here.
sometimes it is people that live here, but visitors most of the time. I didn't realize that we have a big stretch of town down towards the river. So, vitally important that corridor road coming through that was discussed yesterday. So, that's all I got to report. Councilor President Morton.
Well, you know, when you came aboard as our mayor, you were pretty adverse to a lot of the things that we were doing, and you had, I think, some conflictual ideas about what we were doing, where we were going. You have really come aboard and saw what we've done in the past, embraced most of it. I would say, pretty much, Keith Locke could probably attest to that. I would say practically all of it, and shown some great support and leadership of going forward with what we're doing. So I just want to appreciate you for your year of work. The learning curve was not easy.
No.
It's not easy. It's
Came out-
like, what's
it's coming
going on?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, you came aboard, and one of the things that it's always anyone who's been in government for a long length of time, it's always a breath of fresh air when someone replaces them, and someone, especially with your enthusiasm, is very much appreciated. So I wanted to say that to you while you were kind
Thank
of
you.
like on pigtailing on the back of your report. With Public Works in mind, I saw today coming down here, and I didn't know about this, but we're launching our and Sue, maybe you can help me again, but it seems to me like we were launching a pontoon boat after repair and all of that, so it's going back into the water. It looks great. Nice new Honda engine back on that, so that it doesn't stall on the way over to Sand Island to do the maintenance over there.
Yep,
Wise decision. We don't want the last thing we want that.
right.
And what would really look snappy on that would be a City of St. Helens seal on the up on the area where the steering columns are. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I can ask if that can be.
Yeah, get that.
There
on.
was one on there. I think it's all rubbed off now,
Yep,
or,
yeah,
or it's
probably
in a place
did.
where you
Oh, it's
can't
all
see it.
new.
Yeah.
It's all new now. You should see that. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I know. It actually floats now.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Some of the barrels are like half full
Yeah,
of water.
I know.
Yeah, it was pretty sad.
It looks.
No idea how many years they've been like that.
A long time. Because I mean, that's what I took to the island for a year, and I go, what is wrong with this boat? It's just crazy.
Maybe it could have been the operator. Who knows?
Well, it could have been.
Anyway, I saw that going in. I just thought, well, that's
Nice.
pretty cool. We can keep
Yeah.
up our maintenance on Sand Island, and hopefully in our parks, our signage will pretty much go with our new ideas of what we have for signage, and hopefully I'm looking forward to seeing that, especially on Sand Island. Some of those signs are beat up.
Right.
There are some other places that the signage is really going to help us, I think, in the upcoming summer months
I
for
agree.
our parks. Thanks.
Thanks, Morton. Councillor Khan.
Well, the library is going to be losing an employee, but the city front desk is going to be gaining that same employee. So while we will miss Becky in the library, we'll welcome her here. She's not leaving the fold, just relocating. And that's it.
Okay, we're going to come to you after I do the other two councillors. Councillor Carlson.
I appreciate the urban renewal. I appreciate the two people that came and made public comment and the students that are here tonight. The process made better by more involvement. And, you know, even though you make a small gesture or a small comment, it all shapes your community and makes it that much better for everybody. And I just want to thank those people that take time out of their evenings to participate in government, because it does make a difference. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councillor Locke.
I've heard a few comments lately about a few things that maybe are unethical that I've been a part of lately, and I just wanted to straighten those things out before they become nasty rumors. I had a chance to go down to Mexico about a month ago, and it was with Alex Reverman, who is one of the partners for the grow operation at the mill, and just wanted everybody to know that I paid for all of my trip plus some and helped them with repairs on their condo down there, and it was just a nice vacation to get away and down some good weather and whatnot. So just want to make sure that everybody knew that there wasn't any favors gotten from anybody. Paid for my way and plus some. So, and then to go along with that, I've heard rumors that maybe I shouldn't be working down at the mill so much because my wife works for Cascades. And I've had discussions with all the other counselors about that. For those of you that don't know, I worked at Boise 20 years ago now, and retired there with 3 types of cancer. I have no love for that place. And if anybody here can watch it, I can, because I scrutinize everything that goes on down there, and I watch for everything. I look for everything that is awry down there, and anything that we possibly is the same place as when we bought this place. I was the one who had more questions about everything than anybody else did on the counselor, but because I work down there, I know a lot about the mill. And so that's why I've kind of spent the time down there, because I feel that it's best the council have a good person to look over things down there, and I feel that I don't do anything to help other than, you know, goodwill. I try and get along with Cascades so that they work with us. It's a partnership, just the same as the growers down there. I try and, if I can help them out, I do both, just like I would help any company out down there, because I think we need to have those companies in town. So that's part of that piece. Other than that, haven't talked a lot. There's the growers that are down there have not put out much yet about their company. I've talked to them about that, and that's something that's going to be getting out in the community here, because there's been a lot of stories happening out there. What's going to happen? What are they doing? And all this kind of stuff and whatnot. They're going to be making up a article for the newspaper and media and whatnot, so that people know a little bit about them. They're all, even though there's 3 of the partners are from California, the partner that started it is from Portland, Oregon, and he's from around here. He's wants to be involved. He'll probably move out here shortly. 2 of the partners that are in California have talked about moving out here. They like the community. They like the place. They want to get involved. They've talked about part of their contract is helping us out with community benefits, public safety, drug education, parks. They want to see the city grow. They like the city, so they'll be getting out more information about kind of their vision, their plans, and how they propose to go out in the future. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you for addressing that, Keith. Okay, youth counselor, David.
So the last time I was here, I talked about how at our last meeting we had talked about starting a DARE program. And so throughout the meetings that we've had, recently we've had a officer at our meetings, Officer Coy. And he's been able to inform us on issues that he's dealt with in the city about drugs. And he's been making it rather easier to build a base for the program. So we know what we can do to make it realistic view. And that's mainly what we talked about at our last meeting.
So this is a peer DARE program.
Yep.
I really like Officer Coy because he's young. He's from our community, and he's one of our youngest officers. And he's not that young though. But
You
and
look younger all the time.
and yeah, it's good stuff. Continue on. I'm interested to see what you guys come up with.
Who's
So-
the officer assigned to the school? Do you know?
I do not know his name.
With Hal, wasn't it? Yeah.
Al?
Yeah, Jeremy Howe.
Yep.
To piggyback on that, we talked about the drug, and then one of our students also, the very first year we had a senior on there, and he remembered the teen court program that we had years ago. And he wanted us to try and get that going again, and we got involved in a few of things, and we ran out of time for that, and then he graduated and moved on, and since then we've had mostly younger kids on there that had no idea what it was, but the kids have been talking about that also. And so this Monday we're going to meet at the steps of the courthouse, and Judge Grove is going to give us a tour of the courthouse over there and talk about the teen court and how it affected everybody and the process and everything. And
What time will that be?
7 o'clock Monday. So the kids want to know how they can make that happen, and I says, well, you find out about it, you write up a report, and you come to this council and the county commission council, and you ask for money to get it started and get it going. And one of the issues was when it died, well, the lady that ran it, she passed away, unfortunately, and so that but it was a money issue because we were all fighting money at that time, a point where we're getting now where maybe things are picking up. And it is for the kids, it's very important because the whole court was run by the kids except the judge. The judge was the only adult that was involved in it. And so it's a fantastic, and it kind of incorporates drug use and whatnot. So it's a great program. So yeah, if anybody wants to come and join us, 7 o'clock on the court steps Monday.
It's coming Monday.
Yes. So. PM. I don't do anything 7 a.m.
You must have been on a swim team or
So-
something.
That's very encouraging. Tell the youth council that the mayor says good job. I wanted to be there last Monday. I had other appointments that I had to obligate to, but I was thinking about them, and I know you guys have been out recruiting, and I think you guys are doing wonderful things. So pass the word down that the entire council here, and I know they speak for us, but I know these two are very excited to hear that report, David. So
And we may have 2 new members that are joining us tonight.
possibly, maybe, maybe. Okay. Department reports. Sue.
Councilor Morton, thank you for mentioning the pontoon boat being repaired. I know the repairs were underway, but I was not aware that it was actually launched and they got it.
Oh, I got the bottle of champagne out.
All right. I missed that. I didn't get the call. I feel pretty bad. But that was, if you remember, either in December or November, we asked the Marine Board for a small grant to do those repairs. So that paid for the purchase of the new pontoons for that boat. And then our contribution was the assembly of all of that and getting it back in the water. So I'm glad to hear how that went. So that's a good conclusion to that little project. And then the other thing I just wanted to point out was one of the agreements that was approved earlier tonight was the agreement with the Columbia River PUD. And that is a continuation of the LED light upgrade project. And since we kind of completed all the street lights, well, we did complete all the street lights, and we still had capacity within the budget of the project to add some more of the city's facilities. We added lights at the wastewater treatment plant. We also, this particular agreement was to add the upgrade of lights over at the Public Works shops. And that one in particular, it turned out to, once they did the assessment of what was there and what they could replace them with, turned out to be a very, very cost-effective one. This agreement that was approved tonight was just the agreement with the PUD to allow us to receive the rebates that they offer on that. But this particular upgrade has a very low cost and an extremely fast payoff time, about 3 years. We'll be paying off the cost for that out of the savings that we will be making on the electrical bills that we pay to them. And after that point, it's just true savings to the city. So we were happy to be able to add that to our project.
So I live on North 10th, which backs the city corner yard, and I can see that big old canister, and it was a big light. I mean, it was old school. I imagine it was significant savings.
That's probably one of them. Yeah, I'm sure it was quite an old technology there. So
I think there's still
there'll be
one
good
left
opportunity.
as you go around First Street and make the turn and look up Columbia Boulevard. There is a huge light, seemingly by the fire district in there somewhere, that is like very, very, very bright.
I'll look for that tonight.
Was last night.
If it's on the actual fire district property, it would not have been upgraded.
I get it, because it was very bright, and I haven't. It's like, what's it doing there?
It could be
Yeah.
that it actually belongs to the fire department. We wouldn't have any
Thanks for
jurisdiction
adding
over doing that.
Appreciate
But yeah, I'll take a look at that one. I
Thank
had
you.
And
had out tonight. Thank you.
Susan, if you, I don't know whose responsibility it is now, but going to the mill site, they put new lights down the new road, and I think they may already be LED, but there's only one left working out of 4, I think. So they may have been when LEDs just first came out or something. And
Oh, going down Castor itself?
well, not Castor, the loop road.
Oh, okay.
There's only one working down there now.
Yeah,
so
if they
it's pretty
weren't
dark
in
down
if they weren't in the public right away, and once that got out of the public roadway, that there was we didn't do any more upgrades. And again,
Well, like-
if those are on we go back to is it PGE or is it Columbia River PUD? Because if it's outside of the PUD's jurisdiction, they wouldn't qualify to go into this program.
Well, yeah, and they
So-
may just need new bulbs. I don't know.
That's-
But
yeah.
it is our street now, so we need to talk about Cascades or whether us
Yeah, we may have to have a electrician come in
Yeah.
and replace those then.
just let
but
you know.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's all I had. Thanks.
Thanks, Sue. Margaret?
I mentioned a variety of things that are happening at the library earlier today at the work session, but I wanted to also mention that we recently had our second meeting of the library book club that's being coordinated by 2 of our library board members. And we had a nice turnout, and the format that we're using is particularly useful for a library like ours, where we can't afford to buy multiple copies of a single title. So everybody chooses their own book under a theme, and it's really nice because it gives people the freedom to pick something they would like to read, and then at the end of the evening, everybody has kind of a ready-made reading list of things that other people have read and are recommending. And that format is working really well. So I would encourage anyone who wants to be a book club member to join us, because we meet once a quarter, and you have, again, a lot of flexibility to pick what you read. And it's a congenial group, and come join us. The next meeting is going to be April 23rd at 7 o'clock, and our theme is the books of Willie Vlotten, and Willie is a Scappoose author. So we have all of his books in our collection, and so you can come pick one of them to read and share. And I can't remember if I mentioned it last time. Did I say anything about the World War I posters that are in the auditorium? Les Waters with the Museum Association came to the library and asked if we would be willing to hang commemorative, or actually posters from the World War I era that were used as promotional posters for the war effort. And because this is the 100th year of the end of World War I. And we said we would. He had some up earlier in the year when he did a presentation in the auditorium. So we provided the materials, and he provided the manpower, and Public Works came over and helped hang them around the perimeter of the auditorium, because it has a very wonderful hanging system that we've never used. So there are 21 posters, and they are just stunning. The colors are wonderful. The sentiments expressed are kind of quaint in a lot of ways. I mean, there's one that encourages citizens to eat fish because fish feed themselves. And then there's another one that encourages boys and girls to join a sheep club because it takes the wool of like 21 sheep to clothe a soldier. And but they're very, very handsome. And so it really adds something to the auditorium. And the auditorium stays locked, but if you ever come over and you want to see them, I'm happy to open it up for you to take a look. So we're hoping more and more to use the opportunity we have to share history and culture with the community, and that system that was put in place in the lobby and in the auditorium was a very expensive gallery quality system with that allows you to hang art and posters. So we're happy to see something up like that. And Les has committed to doing a similar sort of thing with historical pictures, much like the ones that are here, but they would be poster size. So look for more things in the future like that.
Since you brought up the art, I've been appreciating all of the art that you've brought. So much culture, free culture to our community. It's just really, it's really a gift. And the little poster you mentioned about the sheep, I have nieces that are immigrated here from Egypt, and they raise sheep in their backyard now. And I sent them pictures of that, and they took it to their school, and it was a big deal, the little sheep picture from World War I. They thought it was very enriching. So it's just really cool that stuff like that comes to, you know, a little humble town like St. Helens.
Well,
Chad?
the Arts and Cultural, the Columbia Arts Guild that wrote the grant for the display case and got money from the Cultural Coalition in addition to their fundraising, has resulted in a very handsome display case in the lobby. If you haven't seen it, it was made by a cabinet company in Scappoose. But it has, you know, glass enclosures, storage underneath. And if there currently is an exhibit in there about the 150 years of the Grange. It's a touring exhibit that is going around to libraries all over the state. But if there isn't something that's prearranged to be in there, the Guild will display art from all their member artists. So it really is adding a lot to the lobby of the building.
To add to your remarks, in my past career, I was responsible for many, many, many juried displays in galleries. And I have to hand it to you, the way you put those posters up was profound. And you just go in and you check out how those are arranged, and in terms of colors, in terms of just ideas, you just nailed it. So from my past career, just appreciating that is was very mindful. You've got a great eye for doing those kinds of things, and you're taking advantage of a skill
Well,
that you
Roger-
innately have.
Well, Roger and Jesse did a great job of hanging them, and it was funny after they were all done. The bottoms of the posters lined up with the architectural feature in the auditorium, so it just looked like it had been planned that way. And I said, Roger, that just turned out really great. I said, look how that lines up, and he goes, tell everybody I planned it that way.
I think he did.
Eat more fish, they feed themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
That's nice.
Matt,
Not Columbia, though.
Just one thing I wanted to bring up, that it is starting to get into the budget time, so I'm starting to talk budgets with department managers and looking at goals for the city for next year. One thing that we did last year during the budget committee meetings was I brought you a list of opportunities that myself and other department managers saw, and things that we can look at and possibly think about if it's not next fiscal year, but just so it's at least on your plate to kind of think about and discuss. I wanted to know if the council wanted me to bring that list again this year to the budget committee for discussions.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
Kathy? Okay, John?
So I thought I might recap on the urban renewal. I think because we had an earlier urban renewal meeting and this is a council meeting, but so just to kind of redefine what urban renewal is in case people don't know, it's a financing tool that's designed to fund desired infrastructure projects. And the concept being that the urban renewal agency takes a portion of the tax base, takes it off, makes critical investments in infrastructure, and those, we invest it wisely. Those investments have come on back onto the tax rolls with greater value, which has more tax, which gives a general lift of everything around it.
Yes.
And there's a tertiary piece of that it kind of expands out from those investments. So, reflecting on someone that I admire, is a now retired city manager. He's Larry Lehman, which was city manager of Seaside. He also spent a fair amount of his career in Pendleton, and then after he retired, he did a little stint in Scappoose next door until they got their new city manager on board. But he was part of the very early formation of the urban renewal, and that the very first hotel that went into Seaside. And if you go to Seaside today and you want to talk about a success story and a catalytic investment that had almost a mushroom cloud of success, was those investments. I've talked to him, relied on him for information about how valuable this could be, how catalytic this could be for St. Helens, and he's been all very supportive and all thumbs up. He thinks this is a good move on the city, and we're going in the right direction here. So, not that we aspire to be Seaside, so.
Yeah.
To be St. Helens, but that's all.
We don't have an ocean, just a river.
Any final comments from the students out there? Come on up.
Cole Steepro, 35112 Archer Drive. And you were talking about a peer dare, right? How exactly would that work?
You want to turn on your mic, David? There you go.
So as of now, we're just talking about it, but we're trying to make it a bit more realistic in how we put it together. So right now, we don't really know how we're going to do it, but we're going to try really hard to get it started.
For the last 4 years, 4 years that Keith and I have been mentoring the youth council, the thing that comes up, the two biggest issues that come up is the students don't like the fact that it doesn't seem like anybody's helping their friends that don't make it.
Right.
That's where DARE comes from. That's where Teen Court comes from. And the other thing is the doors on the bathroom. Those are the two things that we have heard every time we ask them what's wrong with school. what's wrong with St. Helens is too many kids get left behind, and we want doors on the bathroom. And it's been 3 years. So we're getting to the point now where we've got enough critical mass that people are like, okay, let's do more than talk about it. And that's why we've got an appointment to talk to the judge on Monday about where do we go from here. Chief Moss generously gave us Officer Coy to help facilitate, help give us more information, help make the connection to law enforcement, and how do we make law enforcement a mentor, a guide, as opposed to a penalty. Because every cop that we employ would much rather help a kid make the break from bad things than arrest them. Every single one. None of them want to arrest the kids. They don't. And it's like they would do anything to help the kids in this community, all of them. So having that team and having that partnership, we think we're finally at a place that we can make a difference. So now is the perfect time. You want to be a part in shaping of what this could look like, whether it affected a family member or friends of yours at school. Those stories are important now more than ever, is to help us do the exact right thing and get on the right path.
Right, because I feel like it's very important for this. But I remember the original Dare, and it was awful. And so
Because it was put on by policemen.
By adults.
Totally.
Adults
Yeah,
for
and
kids,
adults, yeah.
not
Yeah.
kids for kids.
And so I feel like that it would be an important thing to look at, and as long as it's implemented correctly, that it could make an impact.
That's
Right.
awesome.
Because it started out really good
Yeah.
originally, and then you're right, it got to be awful, and that's why it went away, actually.
And your input might be helpful on that since you have been through it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Cole. Anybody else? Okay, well, thank you for coming out tonight. Tell Keith the whole city council said hi, okay? All right. Adjourned. Yes.